On today's episode, we are featuring a brand that has produced magnificent vehicles. Kuna Subarus mingi sana in Kenya and kuna many across the world that have their own legacy. Umeshika hiyo joke, Subaru legacy. Anyway, tukiingia sasa kwa the Subaru lineup, this car has been confused plenty of times with its counterparts because hii ni kama the middle child, wanasaulikanga. So tukiingia in the Subaru lineup, utapata kuna the Subaru Imprezza, kuna Subaru Outback, and this vehicle is the Subaru Crosstrek or the Subaru XV. So for the duration of this video, tuite kama Subaru XV. Hii ni kama compact crossover, ndo tusichanganishwe na majina mengi. So kwa nini nachanganikiwa? Since this vehicle, it's a slight upgrade from the Imprezza and it's a slight downgrade from the Outback. It's quite iko hapo tu katikati, so it's the middle child of the Subaru hapo kwa hizo compact crossovers. But what makes this vehicle stand out from hizo zingine, ama mbona hii gari iko affordable, ama mbona iko convenient? Let's talk about it. So what makes the Subaru XV differ? What are the differences in the XV lineup and the Imprezza lineup? Starting with the exterior of this vehicle, we have the plastic guards below. The plastic guards don't come as an option in the Imprezza lineup because the Imprezza zinakuanga mostly meant for city driving. This is a Crosstrek. A Crosstrek ni kama for the rough terrains basically, where your government has failed you worldwide. Jusi Kenya pekee tunatokwanga tumeteseka. Nationwide, as in worldwide, utapata kuna places mbaya zaidi kuliko Kenya. Haya, so hii inasaidianga protect your paint jobs basically when driving in penye kuna mawe, penye kuna rough terrains tu una get Kenya maanisha. Lakini unaweza pata in most crossovers zinakuanga offered, as you can see in the videos tagged at the corner right here. Utapata pia kuna the chrome strip. Sasa hii inakujanga kwa zote. Kuna this chrome strip at the front. We have the Subaru logo here. We have this plastic grill yenye iko na same texture with the plastic guards. At the headlights, hapa ndio Subaru huwa wanalifurahisha personally. In both their base lineup and their premium lineup, they offer adaptive high beams which have the steering responsive headlights, which isn't perfect for most vehicles. Najua zinakuanga na certain technicality to it, na the lights might be expensive when replacing, but lights zenye zinaweza adapt while driving to pedestrians, to other vehicles na ama certain road conditions, personally I love them. We have the headlight washers at the top on both sides, and we have fog lights down below, surrounded also as well with the plastic guards below. So what powers the Subaru XV or the Subaru Crosstrek? I think this vehicle is quite decent in the power output. It's powered by a 2-liter flat 4 engine and inatumia the FB series of the Subaru lineup. The FB engine basically ni yenye ilikuja ku replace the EJ series. So hiyo iko better and more efficient in production of power and torque output. Ina increase actually, that iko more efficient. Ina increase power output and torque output kwa the engine itself. Na hiyo power obviously na translate to the power output ya gari. So iko better in acceleration and your pulling power. Utaisikia ukiweza buy this vehicle. So apart from that, this vehicle is also achieves 150 horsepower and 196 Newton meters of torque, which is quite decent for such a tiny vehicle. Tusite tiny, naita tiny juu compare na Outback. This is a tiny engine. In the Outback so napatanga 2.5 liter ndo zinakujanga kama a standard. Lakini in this vehicle, most of them I think ni 2 liters. Utapata 2.5 liter, but that is their premium spec. The base model utapata iko na 1.6 liter, na pia kuna 2 liter hybrids which are not the best. I would advise to uende ya Toyota ama Honda. But in this vehicle sasa a 2 liter flat 4, very nice. Haya, it is a CVT transmission. You know CVTs ziko na sifa mbaya, but personally I like it. Unajua si kila mtu atafutanga performance kwa gari. So to those who are just looking for a day-to-day vehicle na iko decent, nazabeba familia, iko suitable kama unaishi in rough terrains as well, I think this vehicle is very decent. And also iko ni all-wheel drive, so ukiidiwa na hiyo CVT, juu CVT haichindi ukichange gear ama haushindi ukisumbuana nayo, iko tu sawa. Najua hii gari inakuja na ile gear shifter hapo mbele, lakini ni useless kwa CVT, juu hakuna gear ya kuchange. The main difference that you'll see in the Imprezza and the Outback lineup ni the XV basically it's similar in size, but the Outback inakuanga slightly longer. Height-wise, this isn't as tall as an Outback, but it's taller than an Imprezza as well. Length-wise, the ground clearance, the Outback it's much higher much higher raised. Kini hii iko raised higher as well kuliko the Imprezza. Sijui kama tunaona hizo differences zote. So, what are the similarities? For example, the side mirrors are similar in both the Outback, the Imprezza and the XV. In the other bits sasa unapata the plastic guards zenye zinazunguka the vehicle ziko similar in the Outback and the XV, haiko in the Imprezza lineup. Hizo nimesema hazikuji na the plastic guards. The wheels as well ni different in this vehicle and the Imprezza. So these are 17-inch tires. In the Imprezza lineup utapata zinakuja na 15 to 16 inch. Hizi zinatokanga about 17 to 18 and ziko slightly bigger pia kwa Outback. Zinatumianga kama za Subaru Forester hapo 19 inch to 18. Hizo ndo unazipata. But the alloy wheels, the looks, they are similar in all the lineups. At the rear of the Subaru Crosstrek vehicle, there are things that I like about this look. Starting off with the brake lights, iko hapa connected to this wing. Apart from the badging, the XV badge here, the all WD badge, the thing that I like the look wise ni this plastic guards venye zimezunguka hii reflector. Zinakaa rugged vizuri. Sijui kama I like rugged looking vehicles. Inakaa rugged vizuri. And the other thing that you'll notice, it's quite noticeable, ni this large ground clearance iko hapa at the rear, yenye iko quite evident kuliko at the front. Ndio maana labda hapa nyuma hawajeka the plastic guards. Join haja. Unless una drive kwa mashimo sijui gani, hii iko plenty high. So going into inward sasa kwa the boot, this vehicle doesn't have as an option electric tailgate, but it has the hydraulic lifts which make lifting up the doors quite manageable for any person, hata mtoto mdogo. Kaza mtuma achukue kitu hapa, anahitaji tu kupress the button here na inajifungua. Before I continue onwards, we have the 360-degree parking reverse camera. Rear view camera. When you utaita, iko located here at the bottom. So, going into the rear or the trunk of this vehicle, so we have this fluffy textured carpeting at the bottom. Inasaidia ku prevent your goods ama your things yenye utakuwa unaweka hapa, labda your suitcases and things like that, from scratching this fabric at the bottom. So inaza maintain it, inaongeza pia your resale value. So I will suggest you wash it, keep it and maintain it. At the bottom here as well, we have a storage bit for your tools, your amenities za repairing ticket. Inaweza kuja, unaweza nunua uweke kwa hii gari. So this vehicle doesn't come with standard donut ama standard spare tire, but I think that's it for the rear. Ina boot cover as well, ikona the light here, and that's it for the rear of this vehicle. So for example, if you have a lot of goodies ama ukona a lot of things na mko 2 passengers only uko mbele, mnaweza drop down these seats using the buttons ama these levers at the seats, and you just have to push your seat like that on both sides, and inaongeza ample room, but siko sure kama ni comfortable enough kulala kama ya Subaru Forester because ya hii lamp hapa na si refu pia sana. So unless you are very short, utalala diagonally kwa gari. In the interior of the Subaru Crosstrek ama the Subaru XV, tuanzia na materials. The materials for this vehicle, you'll find the fabric materials, we have the leather textures, and we have the plastic textures. haziko overdone. Actually, I think they work hand in hand. The seats, for example, are fabric fitted. The center console, it has a mixture of both plastic and leather, which I like. And the dash, it's leather fitted. The glove box, it's plastic fitted. The doors zinaendelea hivyo pia, but hapa kwa mlango sasa we have this sort of carbon fiber material. We have this leather fit up here juu. We have this fabric material hapa, and we have this plastic material at hapa kwa the buttons penye ziko. But armrest zote ni leather fitted, and I think it works quite nice ama quite perfectly pamoja. So going onwards, tukiingia sasa into the layout of this vehicle, most companies, they use a certain map layout of the interior of their vehicles. Tukiangalia Mazdas, unapatanga we have the 7-inch screen, climate controls, and kila kitu from the gear hadi kwa the navigation buttons, volume buttons, they are similar kutoka kwa Demio hadi CX-5s. And in the same kwa Subarus, we have 2 screens. Tukihesabu yenye iko kwa speedometer, that's 3. So starting off with the screen at the top, this is basically just to show you your average fuel, your average speed, and vitu kama hizo. Hii sasa ni ya navigation, media, hotels, radio stations, infotainment basically. So these are the volume knobs na tangwaje navigations za control your media hapo juu. These are the climate controls for this vehicle. This is the gear shifter, which has a very, very nice feel to it. Iko na electric parking brake. We have the hill climb assist feature, and we have the X mode feature. We have 2 cup holders here below. Imekarusha. And we have the storage cabinet hapa katikati sasa. Inakuja na coin tray, and inside you will find a 12 volt socket and a very deep storage panel. Tukikuja hapa chini, hii place iko very well done. Hapa sasa unaweza tumia kuweka your simu ukicharge. We have a USB port down below. We have a power outlet pia. Hizi ni USB port mbili actually. 2 USB ports, and we have a 12 volt panel hapo chini, which I think zina work vizuri sana. Tukikuja kwa the steering wheel, at the steering wheel it isn't that complicated. Deja inakaa complicated juu kuna buttons mingi, but it's quite easy. Hizi ni volume buttons because in some cases you might pick calls kwa simu kwa gari, na unaweza hitaji kuongeza volume ama ku decrease as necessary. Unaweza hitaji pia ku adjust volume your media. Hapa pia unaweza control your navigation from the steering wheel ukidrive. Hapa unaweza set your cruise control as well. Unaweza set your lane keeping assist, vitu kama hizo. And it's quite functional. It's quite easy to use. The material is rubber fitted, and we have the shifting pan, hizi vitu za ku upshift na ku downshift huku kando. We have the in-ear wipers and the lights hapo kando. Tukiingia on the other side of the vehicle, hapa sasa this vehicle works quite interestingly. Unlike most push to start, it's a push to start by the way. Unlike most of them, hii gari hizi waka kifungu ikiwa mbali. I think that's an extra security feature that Subaru did. So you have to touch ziguzane the key and the starting button, do at least iwake like that. Sasa imewaka, and I think inawaka vizuri. We have 2 speedometers and a screen here at the center. In order to change your driving terrain for the vehicle, you just have to push the sport mode and the comfort mode here buttons, and that basically is only buttons zote za steering tumesha clear. Hapa pia kuna unaweza turn on or off your pedestrian sensing ama vehicle sensing features. Unaweza turn on or off your auto start and stop feature, na unaweza turn on or off hapa chini your lane keeping assist. Hapa sasa unaweza turn pia on or off your SRH feature. SRH ni ile steering responsive headlights yenye I talked about at the front. In the rear seats ama the rear viti za nyuma za Subaru XV, I like actually one thing about this vehicle, the windows. They made these windows zinaweza kwenda chini kabisa, so how to feel claustrophobic if you are motion sick kwa most drives. There is plenty of headroom as well. Ajoi gari inakaa iko quite low, but legroom, as you can see, it's just from the front seats, and they have plenty of legroom, toe room and headroom as well. Tukiingia hapa sasa kwa the fabric seats, at the center we have these 2 cup holders here zenye ziko na hii rubber latches at the sides kusaidia ku grip your cup kabla labda unakunywa yogurt, your coffee, vitu kama hizo. And they're quite comfortable. There isn't an AC ventilation hapa juu, hakuna lighting ya kucharge simu. You just have to depend on kuweka huko mbele ama inside the center console. I think that's it for the center seats. So let's talk about the target market or the target consumer that Subaru walikuwa natafuta when producing this vehicle. Why should you buy the Subaru Crosstrek and not the Outback and not the Imprezza? Tuanzie na mbona usinunue the Imprezza. Kama uko na option ya kununua hii. Si atisemi Imprezza yako ni mbaya kama uko nayo. I'm not attacking any owner. I'm just stating the facts. So this being an upgraded Imprezza, utapata this is more suitable for both on-road and off-road conditions. By off-road, I mean barabara kama za Rongai at the current ama Isili. Utapata since kuna developments at the moment, there are a lot of potholes, kuna mashida mingi kwa barabara. And that being the case, until the government decides to upgrade your region, mbona ununue gari itashinda ikikwaruzwa chini, unashinda ukisumbuka ukinyonga makona kaa zote ndio usigwaruze tu gari. Na pricing point ni almost same. Just get the Crosstrek. Now, looking at the Outback. The Outback unaweza sema iko better, yes. But the pricing is quite high as well. Juu zinashikilia bei sana. The Outback since ziko quite capable kama Foresters tu, utapata pricing yake iko from 3.1 to 3.5 million. The Crosstrek is just 2.7 million, which that's quite manageable to even someone looking to start the gari ya familia ama the car journey. So I will just advise to get a Crosstrek if you live in a regions ukoshua si manageable vile. Na hii gari sati ukibai hii utalag behind kwa barabara. It's iko na 150 horsepower, 196 Nm of torque. It's quite powerful. Na ukicompare hiyo pia na the space iko nayo, I think this vehicle is quite decent. Hiyo ni actually hiyo ni bei. Ukiangalia German counterparts ya gari gani unaweza compare sahi? Actually sijui yenye iko na uwezo kama ya hii at that pricing point. Hakuna. Imagine. So labda kwa Japan sasa utaweza kupata wanaanzanga kuongelea Fielder. Hii ndio ka level yake. Kidi Fielder ukicompare na hiyo surely. So ende tu hii pricing almost similar. Hiruchukue tu Crosstrek. So thank you for tuning into today's video. And if you're interested in this vehicle, you can just DM me and I'll get you in contact with the owner. And see you on the next episode of Drive Dive.